Thank you all for coming out this evening and joining us for our program on digital photography with your smart device with Bob Mickelson. Mr. Mickelson is a published photographer and videographer. His work has been featured in the Smithsonian, New England Aquarium, Ontario Science Center, and the Oregon Zoo, as well as numerous publications and broadcast networks. He's here tonight to give us all some tips on how to improve our photography skills using a smart device while we're out and about this summer on vacation. So please welcome Bob Mickelson.
Oh, stop it. Thank you. A little bit more quickly about my background. I'm a professional photographer, TV producer. I own Photography by Mickelson and Braintree. So the next time anyone gets married, has a bar bat mitzvah, has a corporate event, or wants a portrait, I'm your guy. This is the fun side of what I do. This in underwater photography, which is my specialty niche. I do a lot of diving and documenting of different species, life histories, and the concentration that I enjoy is the species has to be either federally threatened or endangered. And it's a challenge, and no one's documented it before. So those are the criteria to get me involved in a project, and the state and feds are very good at pulling me in. Hey, Bob, have I got something for you? So it's a win-win. They get free photography. I get exclusive images that no one else has, and I just keep licensing it and using it. So it's really a lot of fun. Today, I'm going to take you back a couple notches from my level of photography to be able to use one of these things. It's called a telephone, but now they call it a smart device. And for somebody like me who's a professional photographer, I feel pretty stupid when I pick up one of these things because my daughter is dancing all around all the applications in it, and I know how to use it as a telephone. So I figured I need to put together a program to teach other people of my intellect level, or in all your cases, much higher, how to use this. So tonight what we're going to do is familiarize ourselves with our smart devices. Now, smart devices is any type of device that allows you to make phone calls, take pictures, go on the internet, browsing, emailing, FaceTiming, and it's iPhone, Samsung Galaxies. There's a bazillion brands out there. So, quick poll. How many people here own an Apple product? Please raise your hand. Most of you. Good, because I'm an Apple guy and I can teach you. How many people here have a Samsung product? Pretty much the rest of you. Miscellaneous. 2 of you. Okay, we'll try to help you as best we can. I'm more familiar with iPhones, at all the Apple products, and a little bit more familiar with Samsung since my daughter's boyfriend showed me how to use his phone. So, everyone should have a handout. You can follow along with me on the handout. This is a great reference to take home, to take notes on. First, on your phone, what kind of a phone do you have? Do you have an iPhone 4S, 5S, 6S, Samsung Galaxy 4, 5, 7, or miscellaneous brand? On your phone, I want you to try to find where the camera is. These are our objectives for tonight. I'm going to show you in a series of slides. We're going to find out where the camera feature or application is located, where and how your photos are stored and videos are stored, how to turn your flash on and off for different applications, how to use the zoom feature of your device, editing options, which there are a lot of editing options that I'm going to talk you away from. I don't like the editing applications on the phones. I prefer to do it on a computer. We'll get into that more. And what is HDR, high dynamic range? We're going to talk about all of that and a lot more. So, this is an Apple iPhone. This is a 4S. This is my phone. The camera app on the iPhone is the picture of a camera. Real simple. If you tap on that, it'll open up more applications underneath that, but that's where you find the camera. The photo album is the series of rainbow color spectrum right next to the photo. That's where all the photos and videos that you shoot are stored in your camera. That's probably why most of your phones no longer work, because they're clogged with this stuff and you don't know how to get it off. Everyone has the same problem. You're not alone. We'll fix that shortly. When you click on the camera icon to advance to this screen, that's a Thunderbolt. That's your flash. You can turn the flash off. You can turn the flash on. You can make it automatic. And that really depends upon the model phone that you're dealing with and the manufacturer phone that you're dealing with. And we'll get more into that as well. Right now, it's more how to identify where these things are located in your device. If you click on the HDR button, that's high dynamic range. That's how you turn this feature on and off. Basically, HDR, you're going to leave on when you're outside, and don't worry about it. The camera, what HDR is high dynamic range. It automatically adjusts the bright spots, the dark spots, the contrasty, the less contrasty, the more vivid colors, the less vivid colors. That will automatically adjust it and grab the best possible photo you can outside with your device. Inside, we turn this off. Because anytime you're inside in a room like this, you need to use the built-in flash. There's not enough light in this room to take a decent photo.
So is that on automatically when you're taking pictures outside?
Depends on your device. You can, on my phone, I have a 4S. This is an older phone. Every time I turn it off and take a picture, it defaults to having it back on again. It's a pain in the neck. It really is a pain in the neck. It's more important that you understand what it's for and how to use it.
Okay.
Next to that, it looks like a clock, and that's a self-timer. So you can put it on a little tripod like this, use a selfie stick like this, or give the camera to someone that you really don't want to be in the picture with you and have them take the picture. It allows you 5, 10, or 15 seconds to jump in front before it takes the photo. It's a self-timer like the stay. I'm not ready for you yet. Once you get into a group photo. Moving along. If you click on the camera icon, you can, yes?
What about there's an icon with a circles around it? I have an S6.
You have a 6. What do the circles look like?
It's got circles around it. HDR is,
It says live.
I think it's live. Does that just mean live?
Let me see. Yeah, you're looking at it live.
Live. Oh, okay, that's all.
That's why it's good to have a wireless. You can't be locked in with this program. Bottom left, this is your photo album. This is where all the pictures and videos that you've shot with your device are located. You can customize this, and it also depends upon where you bought your device. Bless you. It also depends upon where you bought this device as to where these are all located when you first turn your phone on. Now, I bought my phone, this particular phone, I bought it at the Apple store. They order a bunch of phones programmed a certain way so the screen looks the way I'm showing you. If you buy it at the Verizon store, the AT&T store, or Best Buy, they all have different contracts with the manufacturer where the screens look a little bit different and things are located in different places. So it's more that you familiarize yourself with these are called icons. To get access to the applications, it's more important that you know what they are, and then you can see them on your phone and know what to do with it, instead of, what is this? So to change from photo to video to square to panoramic, all you do, and it's real easy, gain access to your phone. Mine is passcode protected. Most of yours are. Click on the camera icon. And at the bottom, you have video, photo. You just slide it with your finger to whichever mode you want to use it on. So it defaults to photo. If I want to shoot, bless you. Are you allergic to me? I hope not. If you want to shoot video, you just slide your finger over to where the button lines up red for video. If you want to shoot a square picture, which I don't know why anybody would want to, you slide it over to square. You can also do panoramic, where you can do a 180 sweep of the room and it shows up on a single photo.
This is all for Apple?
This is Apple. Now, the other thing I want to make you aware of with your Apple device especially, whenever you have the camera app open, it gobbles up battery very quickly. So if your phone isn't fully charged and you keep the camera app open and don't close it, don't swipe it out of the way, your battery is going to drain very rapidly. So when you're not using the app, close it out. Because when I first got this thing, I had transitioned from a flip phone, because I'm a photographer. I don't need something fancy like this. My daughter said, I have to get you an iPhone, Dad. Like, okay. Can you show me how to turn it on and use it? I'm a photographer. I'm not a technician. So with this particular thing, I had 8 apps open at the same time. The battery was lasting me an hour. Until my wife said, well, Bob, you have to close them all out, swipe up. And, oh, now I can get 10 hours out of a charge. Thank you very much. So the more applications you have open on your device, the more it chews down your battery very, very quickly. Getting into the features, if you then, let's back up a little bit. When we're in this mode, if we highlight the little squares where it says edit, you have to go into your photo, your library and click on a photo to see this. This allows you to rotate the photo up to 180 degrees in each way. You can crop the photo to bring it closer. This is great. Do not use it on the phone. Use your phone only as a capture device to take the pictures.
Excuse me, Bob.
Yes?
Can you use that feature to rotate a video?
No. Because you're probably one of the people that shot the video holding your phone this way.
Never.
Okay.
But I'm left-handed, so.
Well, my wife and you you're in your right minds. My wife is a lefty as well, and she looks at things backwards, but she at least knows to flip the phone horizontally when shooting video. All the video you see in the news where it's shaded on this third and shaded on this third, they held the phone vertically. How many people in this room have their TVs turned vertically when they watch cable? Television is a horizontal world, not a vertical world. So when we shoot video with these devices, we always only hold the phone or tablet horizontally. Or if you flip it vertically and you see the news, you get a third of great image, a third of great image, and a little tiny picture in the middle. Yes?
How did you get that screen again?
You have to click on a photo in your photo library, and then there's a button that says Edit.
Okay.
Click on Edit, and there's all these features at the bottom. These are features that they're good to know that are there. Don't be intimidated. Don't get confused, because you're never going to use them in Bob's class. These are useless features that are built into a phone if you don't own a computer, but everybody here owns a computer, because how do we type and everything? This is a phone. Let's remember what these are designed for. Hello, 911. I'm the type of person that if I want a camera, I use a camera. They're getting much better. The iPhone 6s has an amazing camera. The 4 and 5, the cameras are horrible. So if you have an iPhone 6s, you can do remarkable photography and zooming in and do incredible photography with your camera. Same with the Samsung Galaxy. If you have the 6, you can do the same thing. The camera's phenomenal in that model camera. But the 4 and 5, the cameras are horrible in these things. Other than to shoot it without doing anything. You can't zoom in, you can't crop them. The pictures fall apart, they're grainy, they're noisy, they're yuck. So let's move on. We have a lot more to cover.
What about with the Samsung? When do they get pictures?
The cameras of the Samsung Galaxy 6 are much better than the earlier versions. So if you have a 6, you've got a good camera.
What about I have a 5?
It's marginal. It's better than the iPhone. Yes? You do not crop on the phone. When you crop it and hit save, the original file's gone forever. So one of the things I'm going to teach you tonight and drill into your heads is download, backup, backup, backup before hit delete. Because once it's gone forever. You can't bring it back. So you download it to your computer, and I'll show you a little bit later how to do that before deleting it from your phone. And if I crop it on my phone and it looks horrible and I've hit save, it's gone. You cannot bring it back. So it's better to download the pictures to your computer. I'm going to jump ahead. I put it on an external hard drive. I never put my media, photography or video on the computer hard drive itself. I put all that stuff on an external hard drive that plugs into the computer. So the software in the computer doesn't have to compete with the files. The processing is much faster in your computer if you keep your pictures and video on a separate drive from the drive that the software is running in your computer. It sounds confusing. It's a lot easier than what it sounds. We'll get to that. We're jumping ahead a little bit. So everybody's with me so far? Because there will be a test. So the next feature is those 3 overlapping circles. When you press on that, it'll get shaded. And that gives you no change, monotone, toenail, black and white. It gives you really fancy effects, which are great. But again, if you hit save, the original picture is gone forever. So you can do this on your computer. And if you don't like it, hit the undo button. If you do this on your phone and save, that original picture is gone. It's history. So it's much easier and much safer to work on important vacation pictures and family pictures on your computer after backing them up. Because then you can always pull it off your disk. So I also put everything on a DVD. I'm being professional and making one mistake in the digital realm 15 years ago. I learned a very valuable lesson. You can never have enough backup. So I shoot with cards in my cameras. I have Nikon cameras, so I shoot with cards. I take the card when I get home from a job or from a family event. I download it to the external hard drive of my computer. Before I do anything else, I burn a backup DVD of that folder, put that on the shelf, then start processing the pictures. So I have at least 2 separate copies in case I make a boo-boo, and I want to pull another picture back out and work on it again. There's one time when I was first learning this 15 years ago, I hit delete. Boy, did I hit delete. I'll never do that again. I lost an anniversary party. Very expensive. I gave the money back. I offered to reshoot everything. It was ugly, and I never want to have that happen again. Burn me. I make a mistake once. That's once too many in my lifetime. So, click on the 3 overlapping circles. It can change the texture, black and white, gray, sepia tone, different effects like that. That again, when you hit save, the original picture's gone. Do it on your computer. Are we getting a basic message here? Use the phone to take pictures. That's it. These are nice to have. Don't use them. Then if you click on it looks like a timer. It opens up color correction. Lightness and darkness, the color, the black and white. You can adjust all those features on your computer with a lot more accuracy, with a much more powerful software than doing it on your phone, without degrading the quality of the pictures that you've taken with your device. Because everything you do on your phone makes the quality of the picture go down. If you process it on a computer with more powerful software, like if you have Macs at home and you're editing on photo, that's an amazing software for editing photography. The program itself is bigger than the hard drive on our phones. So it's an amazing program. It can allow you to do a lot of things with your pictures without making the quality of the picture go down. It's not so on a phone because they're not designed to make phone calls. So you click on that to adjust brightness, color, black and white settings. This is a Samsung Galaxy 5. This is my daughter's boyfriend's phone. I like the Samsung Galaxy 5 for the camera aspect of it, but when I want to use a camera, I use a camera. I use this more because it shoots some of the most amazing high-definition video you'll ever see in your life. iPods, iPads, and iPhones, there are broadcast producers, myself included, we use this to produce broadcast television. That's how good this thing is. The sound quality is horrible, so you use a separate device to record the sound. The picture quality is broadcast quality on a little Apple iPhone. It's amazing how far they've come with this. So I use this for shooting video for the, I'm a freelance, one of the many hats I wear is I'm a freelance photographer for Gatehouse Media, the Hingham Journal, the Braintree Forum, Weymouth News, and all the papers all around the state. We all have to produce video clips to go with the news stories. So I whip up my little phone, videotape 30 seconds for the news, and upload it to Wicked Local. And I do it with the phone, not with my Nikon. My Nikon's a still camera. And I don't want to invest $10,000 in a shoulder-mounted camera for a $40 freelance assignment. It's not worth it. It's called not cost-effective. So Samsung Galaxy 5S has a 16 megapixel camera. It's over double the capturing capability of my phone. The image size is twice as big. The camera is twice as big. It takes really, really nice photos. But again, you're going to use the phone to capture the pictures, crop them, and edit them at home on your computer. But the Samsung Galaxies really have surpassed the Apple products with cameras. Even the earlier versions, the 5, this is a 5, they have come out with a 6. Phenomenal pictures, phenomenal video. You have to get up to the Apple 6S to get really good pictures with your device. Those of us, unfortunately, that have the 4 or 5, we're left to better things. We can make phone calls. We can text, we can do email, but not really good photos. So this is what the landing page, once you hit the camera icon on the Samsung Galaxy, looks like. All kinds of features to work with. Similar effects, it does the same thing as the Apple phone. Most of these things you're never going to use. They're editing, special effects, color correcting, and we don't do that on the phone. Just be familiar that they're there, but don't use them.
Use the flash.
Use the flash inside, turn the flash off outside, turn on HDR, which is an option on this phone as well. You can change it to multiples. The newer phones, you can now do 4K, which is the newer broadcast format, which is double high definition, what you have on your smart TV at home. It's amazing how far the technology is. I think the Apple 6S and the Samsung Galaxy 6 have 4K video capability, which is double the resolution of regular high definition. I can't keep up with it, and I'm in the business. It's impossible to keep up with it. And every manufacturer has their own format, their own recording codecs. There's little data bits that are put behind the scenes that we don't see when it records video or records a still photo. That terminology is called a codec that writes that onto your hard drive. That's behind the photo and behind the video that you don't necessarily have to know about, but understand that it's there. There are about 40 different codecs that different manufacturers embed in their pictures and video when you record them. 40. And you have to have a good computer with good software, because when you download them, the computer automatically reads the codec. You don't have to worry about it. But it's getting ridiculous where there's so many manufacturers now with so many different codecs, different cards that you write to, different types of hard drives. It's making my head spin thinking about it, and I'm the one teaching the class. Because 6 months from now, this is all obsolete. Every 6 months is new technology. You can't keep up with it anymore. So similar, when you hit the camera on the Samsung Galaxy, it looks very similar to that of an Apple iPhone. Just doesn't have the same pretty colors that the iPhone does, but same features. It just looks a little bit different, but it does exactly the same thing as the iPhone. This is a photo of Max. My daughter's boyfriend's family's pet. He's a rescue. Very friendly dog. They hate him. We love him. He's a great dog. Here's his photo album down below. So you can swipe it and look at the photo album and look at all the different pictures. And all of you have like 1,500 and 2,000 and 10,000 pictures. And I don't have any more room. We're going to get to that. So in his phone, you can copy to clipboard, studio, rotate left, crop it, rename it, put it into a slideshow. You do that with your computer. It's a phone. You can share versus many different internet platforms. When I get into this, I'm a little preachy. You're going to have to put up with me. I don't trust the internet. I see too many things that people put up on the internet that are personal or sensitive in nature. And once it's up there forever. You can never pull it down. So even family photos, if it's not a complimentary picture, don't put it on Facebook. Don't send it via an unsecured platform. And we'll get to that in a little bit. I can be a little bit preachy on that one. I'm a little paranoid. I don't like people seeing my stuff unless they really want them to. And there's ways to share that, which I will share with you.
Good.
Who would have thought? Okay, tips for taking great photos. You have a choice of horizontal, vertical, panoramic, square, time-lapse, slow motion. Choose whichever one you want to take advantage of. Now, I use my phone for video, as I've mentioned, but in a pinch, I'll take a still photo with it, but I can't zoom in. The 4S and 5S have a horrible zoom on their cameras. So you know how to use a zoom. You take your finger and spread it out to bring the picture in closer. The 4 and 5S, it's grainy, it's noisy. You can't even see the faces. It's terrible. The 6S, I've seen close-ups of butterflies that are as good as my Nikon. It's amazing how much they've improved from the 5S to the 6S for the iPhones. And the same with the Samsung Galaxy line. The 6S takes phenomenal pictures and video. Hold your device to stabilize the pictures. Okay, so everyone does this. Well, every time you move this, the picture's going to get blurry. So you're going to use your arms and elbows as a tripod. Make your body part of the camera. And you're going to put your index finger and thumb on the top and bottom of the side of the body of your phone or tablet, whatever you're shooting with. And you're going to keep your thumb available to go into the back to gently touch the button that you used to shoot the photo. Everyone seems to do this. And then you got a finger in your photo. So we no more fingers in front of the phone. Fingers off to the side. Get rid of them. Be conscious that they're there and make like you cut them off. Pull them in as a fist. Bring your arms into your side. Tap the screen once. You'll have a yellow square or gold square that'll focus on the subject, right? When you go to take a picture, wait until it's nice and clear and then gently squeeze the button. Don't jerk it, because when you jerk it, you're making your picture blurry. So you're going to gently squeeze that button after you've tapped on the screen and let that dancing square that's focusing on your subject settle down.
Put it on timer.
Or put it on timer and it'll automatically focus and take the picture for you. Yes?
I like the little buttons on the top that you generally use for volume, because you can take pictures of that, and that seems a lot steadier to me.
I never knew that. Thank you. Noted. Okay. I never knew that. So the volume controls allow you to take pictures? You have an iPhone as well?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
What did she say, the volume?
The volume control, the little buttons on the side of your phone,
Yeah?
she said you can take the picture with that. You don't have to tap the screen.
Oh, really?
I never knew that.
Because your fingers are there anyway.
So when you hold the iPhone, you have the photo button oriented to the right.
Yeah, anything on the outside.
Flip it. For people in the lefty world, this is a universal device.
Anything on the side.
If you don't want to use the buttons, which will be on the bottom for you, you can flip it, and the picture's going to rotate automatically, so it's right side up.
Except video. is
What if they
sometimes
put on the top, we do it this way.
Well, if you flip the phone, it'll be right side up still. Video automatically writes itself when you record it. There's no one horizontal and not the other horizontal.
I have a bigger
It only records one way? Have you started recording and in the process flipped it? Okay. I've never had that happen because
Yeah, but I mean, ordinarily you keep the photo button oriented to the right.
in everyone else's world, yes. But in the left-handed world, we either have to adapt or flip the phone. But I've never had a problem with video recording upside down. I'll have to experiment with that and let you know. I've never had that happen to me. So let me get to this. I'm curious to see this. What do you know? It works. The right-hand button. The volume up button. The volume up button is a shutter button. I never knew that. Thank you. That is much easier than tapping a screen. Much easier.
It is, it's steadier.
Yeah. Now it's easy to take it nice and steady and gently squeeze that button. Even the teacher can learn. That's so cool. And I have to look into the video. I've never experienced
And
that.
I've taken a few videos in different locations and whatnot, and you know some of the videos came out inverted.
Really?
Yeah, and you can't flip them on the it's not an easy thing.
If you have advanced software at home, if you have Final Cut.
I had to go to a pretty sophisticated program to flip it around. It's not like flipping a photo.
No, God, no.
It's a whole different.
You have to flip everything. It's a pain in the neck. You try to avoid it.
Squared away, but
I'll have to look into that. I've never heard of before. So let's get back to this. So we're going to hold the device steady to take the image. So now we know we press the volume up button and we can hold it top and bottom. Before you take the picture, take a shallow breath, squeeze that button. Rock steady, nice sharp pictures, even under low light.
You can't do a cluster though with the button.
No. Zip, 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 zip. Multiple photos in a row, like a motor drive. You can? You just hold it down? Try it. My experts are telling me. See, you think I'm teaching you. I'm really in this for the experience.
I'm wrong.
Okay.
Are you saying never take a photo this way, only ever?
No. Video.
Right, but you.
Photo. We're just about getting into this thing called the rule of thirds in composition. You're ahead of me. You're ahead of me. Slow down. Slow down. So, using the grid. There's a grid app. There's a grid that's in your phones that we can turn it on by going through different menus that breaks down the screen into thirds. That helps with composition. You have to go into the menu. It varies from model to model and phone to phone. But if you go into camera and if you go into the menu of the phone, there's a way to turn a grid on that when your camera comes up, there's actually a grid on the screen. That doesn't come out in the pictures, it helps you compose the photos. So if you have the grid to start learning photography and composition, I find it a useful tool to be able to turn it on. It's so all over the place where you find it in your devices. I'm going to have to leave you to your own devices to try to find it for now. Afterwards, come up to me if you can't figure it out. Because it varies from phone to phone, model to model, where that's located in your phone.
If you turn it on, will it stay?
When you turn the grid on, it stays on. The grid only turns off when you turn it off, when you choose to turn it off.
Where is the menu?
It's in the camera application. Under the settings of the camera. Camera settings. So, getting back to composition. Still photography, we want to fill that rectangle of our phone with subject. So if you're taking a photo of one person, flip the phone vertically. Fill that person. Fill that frame with people. Everybody in this room, I guarantee you, everybody in this room, the heads of your subject are right in the bullseye, right in the middle. And you're wasting a third on this side, a third on this side, and a third on the top, right? Everybody does it. That's horrible composition. After tonight, no more excuses. So what we're going to do is, using the grid, flipping your phone vertically, I want you to put the eyes of your subject at the first set of horizontal lines, 1/3 down from the top of the screen. The eyes of the subject. So if you're zooming in, it's okay to cut the top of the head off to get the eyes 1/3 down from the top of the screen. If you turn the phone horizontally and you're doing 2, 3, or a group of people, average where the eyes are falling, place the eyes of the subjects 1/3 down from the top of the screen. That's proper composition with people and pets. So if you flip your phone horizontally, there are 2 horizontal lines. Put the eyes at the top horizontal line. If you flip your phone vertically,
Thank you.
If you flip your phone vertically, there are 2 horizontal lines. Put the eyes right at the top horizontal line. It's real easy. When you get good at this, you can turn the grid off and not be annoyed by it.
I like it, but they're like horizons too. Sure.
Yeah, this gentleman mentioned having the grid on helps nice horizontal horizons. So if you're on a boat and you don't want the water to look like it's on a slide, or if you're looking at the distance and you don't want to get nauseous from looking at it, use the grids and keep the line horizontal with the horizon. Now you know you've got a well-composed photo and a well-composed seascape or landscape picture. Yes?
If you're gonna zoom in, what program will I use?
You're just going to have the camera up, the camera app open. Do you have what model phone do you have? 5S. The zoom is horrible. I'd try to avoid it whenever possible. If you zoom in by spreading your fingers and bring the subject closer, it's going to get very grainy, very noisy. You're not going to like the picture. So you're best to keep it wide, as wide without having to zoom in at all. The 6S, which I can't wait to get eventually when I can afford one. Now I pay $24 a year for 2 years. What a deal that is. $24 a month for 2 years, I can get a 6S. So everybody's with me with composition. I hear a lot of chatter going on. Everybody understand the rule of thirds? Okay, when you're taking pictures of people, and you have the grid on, or no grid at all, you can just use your Barney imagination. Go back to the early 90s. We're going to be using our Barney imagination. I'm going to put the eyes of my subject down 1/3 from the top of the screen, whether it be vertical or horizontal. Grid on, grid off. Like wax on, wax off. Same thing. And when you zoom in, or when you move in really close, it's okay to chop the top of the head off to get the eyes down 1/3 from the top of the screen. That's still good composition. You see it in portraits all the time. You see headshots where the top of the heads are chopped off to get a nice close-up of the facial features in the eyes. So that's going to take practice. As long as you grasp the concept, that's going to take some practice. Let's move on. You're going to tap the screen to focus your photos. We've already discussed that. Let that square settle down before you squeeze the volume control to take the picture. You're going to turn the flash on when indoors or in a dark setting. And you just tap on the flash so it says on. Flash will fire when you press to take a picture. If you keep it in automatic, in its marginal lighting, the flash will not fire, and you're going to get very harsh shadowing and lighting around the facial features. Professional photographers, I use a flash 24/7. I never turn it off. Never ever turn it off, because there's always harsh shadows coming from different directions. I want to have nice, soft, complementary lighting on my subjects, so I will fill in the shadows with my flash. I don't use the built-in flash, I use another flash, but that's a different level of photography altogether.
So what about it on or put it on?
Turn it on when you're indoors. Because if you're under a light like that, the flash will not fire. But look at the harsh shadows under your eyes, under your nose, under your chin. If you put the flash, it fills in those shadows, a much more complementary picture. Okay? Everybody with me? The sun is your friend. The sun should always be coming from over the back of your shoulders whenever possible and safe to do so when taking pictures outdoors. Don't try to shoot into the sun and get your grandkids or your children because they're going to be silhouetted because the camera is exposing on the bright background. So use the sun to your advantage. If I'm taking a photo of you and the sun's in your eyes and you're looking at me squinting, I'll move off to the side so you're not looking directly into the sun, but there's still nice lighting falling on you to take the photo. So providing you're not falling off of a cliff or falling off of a boat to take the picture. That's bad, don't do that. Read the disclaimer at the bottom of the form. Use the sun, use it to your best advantage. When you're shooting through glass, real easy trick. You see a deer in your backyard and you want to grab a picture. Put the phone right up to the glass. Don't hold it away, right up to the glass. It'll focus through the glass because it sees it as another lens. If you hold it away, it's going to focus on the glass, not the deer outside. It's going to expose on the glass inside, not the deer outside. Or you're at an aquarium and you want to take some nice pictures of the fish or Myrtle the turtle at the aquarium. Put the phone right up to the glass and take your pictures. Just like you're a diver. But it's still buy my pictures. You know, they're much better. If your photo's blurry, back away from your subject just a little bit, retap the screen and let it focus. Because sometimes you can get too close and the phone's not capable of focusing, or it's confused. These devices get confused photographing off of reflective surfaces. So if you're getting glare off of something metallic or something glass, the camera's going to have a hard time focusing. If you're in a very dark room, the camera's going to have a hard time focusing. So either turn on some lights, turn on your flash, or back away and tap it and let it refocus again. Sharing your photos. This is going to be real easy. Don't do it. Secure methods, in my opinion, as coming from a professional photographer, I don't want people stealing my pictures. I've put a lot of sweat and tears into capturing the pictures that I have. I don't want people stealing them. So I have them on my website with a watermark going right over the picture that has my name and copyright. You can't remove that when you download the picture. It's embedded in the picture. You're not going to get that involved. You just no need for it. Email, most email is relatively secure. I'm not going to get into politics about those that are not. Most email is relatively secure. They're not going to hack into our accounts because there's nothing for them to look at. Don't put credit card information, don't put personal information in an email. That stuff you should never put in an email because it's not that secure that your social goes on an email to somebody in England because someone can still access that data. So never include personal data on an email, although it's more secure than a public profile like Snapchat or Facebook or any of those other accounts that everyone's using. Facebook, I only put up on Facebook what I want people to see because you can right-click and save it. Anything on Facebook, you can right-click on that photo and save it to your computer, and I have no control over it. This is where younger people especially get in a lot of trouble. They put pictures that they thought were cute that are not cute, and then it's all over the internet, and people get arrested. People commit suicide. It's just horrific what happens when the wrong things get posted on public media like Facebook. So the solution to me is don't do it. Simple. If I want to send photos to you, I'll send you a Google Drive that I have to give you. I'll send you an email with access to download my pictures from Google Drive. It's a free service through Google. 15 gigabytes of storage on their server. You upload your pictures to Google Drive through Google. Most of you all have Google. It's free. It's secure. You send an email to somebody, only that person can access the pictures. You have total control over who can access the pictures in that Google Drive. If you don't want people to access it, deny. They can't see anything. They can't steal anything. And it's, best of all, free. Another free serving method is Dropbox. Dropbox.com gives you up to 2 gigabytes of storage when you first open up your account. It's free. You upload pictures to your Dropbox, share it with whoever you want via email. They then can download the pictures, but nobody else can see them. Nobody else knows they're there. When they're downloaded, delete them from your Dropbox. They're off the internet. Same thing with Google Drive. When you're done sharing them, delete them from your Google Drive. They're off the internet. They're not floating in Never Never Land. I don't like Snapchat, Instagram, or any of these social media sites for sharing pictures or sharing video, because you cannot guarantee the security and the integrity of that. Those images are not going to be stolen by somebody for something than less complimentary purposes. Sad to say, but that's the world we live in. So, download and backing up your photos. This is a big one. There's iCloud, again, internet, There's iClouds from every company in the sun. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Anything on the internet can be hacked. Plain and simple. I prefer download to your computer, organizing your pictures into folders, backing them up on an external hard drive, double backing them up on DVDs, giving them to somebody, a copy of DVDs out of your house, a family member that you trust. Anything important. I have photos in with a stock agency in New York, another stock agency in Florida. So if my house, God forbid, goes up, or the office in New York goes up, every one of my important pictures is archived in Florida. My brother-in-law in Plainville has a set of my DVDs. I live in Braintree, and vice versa. That's the safest way to back up and archive your photography and video. Printing your photos, we can still do that, folks. It's okay. You can actually have this thing called the photo album. Remember that? Our clients are occasionally still asking me for that for a wedding. It's amazing. They don't just want a DVD anymore. They want an album again. It's like, great, welcome back. So let's get into how do we download and back up our photos and video. Yes?
Flickr a safe place to put photos?
No social media site is 100% safe. And Flickr is one of them.
Yeah.
They all fall, in my opinion, that's my opinion, they all fall into the same category of marginally safe. I want secure, I don't want marginally safe. Secure meaning my permission only to you to look at whatever I want you to look at, that's it. And when you're done, delete, they're gone. What you're talking about, they're there forever.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are in the Apple world, congratulations. I can teach you how to do this real easily. If you're in the PC world, one more step, but not that complicated. Don't panic. If you're in the Apple world and you plug in your phone through the connector that goes into your charger, into the USB port in the side of your MacBook or iMac or tablet, it's automatically going to launch iTunes. Automatically. It's talking to your phone. It automatically starts to download your pictures to some place that I can never find on my phone once I do that. So I hit stop on that process. I don't want them to download. I want to know where I'm putting them. I'm going to create my own folders and my own locations. So what you do is you stop the program from downloading your pictures into Never Never Land on your computer somewhere. I can never find them. They have some 20-digit coded number somewhere on the computer, but it never tells you where they end up. So, no, I don't want to do that. So, on my desktop, I right-click, new folder from the top. Right-click, new folder, name it whatever you want to name it. That's where you're going to put all the pictures and or video from that event, that day, that vacation, whatever you're going to do with these. Name a folder so it's easy to retrieve later on. Name it something that's easy to remember. So when you go to look at your hard drive with 50 billion folders, it's alphabetical. I keep mine alphabetical. I have this method called keep it simple, stupid, more for me. If I keep it alphabetical, I know Buttonwood Zoo is before New England Aquarium. I can find the pictures.
Does that folder go to my pictures? Is that how you?
No.
It doesn't.
The folder goes where we tell it to go.
Okay.
So to download the pictures, to make it easy for you, I'm having you do it on your desktop. I don't do it this way. I open up the folder on my external hard drive, but most of you probably don't have that yet. So to be able to follow along with me and understand the process, I'm doing one extra step that I normally would not do myself. Okay? So on your desktop, this is my iMac. Or you have a tablet or you have a PC or anything like that. If you plug it into your PC, it'll recognize it as a hard drive. You still right-click, new folder, and you're going to see the pictures. They're all going to come up in this window. And it's under camera uploads. That's where all the pictures are in your phone. The folder, yes?
How do you right-click if you don't have a mouse?
Anybody with a laptop know how to right-click? How do you right-click? Tell her, I don't use a laptop.
Depends on how you
have a right tab.
two fingers. You have 2 fingers.
Okay, I guess there's 2 fingers.
However, the other mat,
do the right hand.
Okay. I'd have to look that up, ma'am. I honestly don't know. I've always used a desktop computer. I don't really use a laptop other than to show PowerPoint slides. This is my daughter's laptop. So that's what I use it for, is to plug it into a projector.
At the bottom of the touchpad, there's either going to be two buttons, in which case you take the right button, or there's going to be one button, in which case you click it on the right side of the button. And that's how you click it without a mouse.
Great. Thank you very much for that. So, on my desktop, I see the camera uploads folder that is on my phone. I'm looking in my phone right now. These are the 5 pictures that are on my phone this particular day. As soon as I plug in the phone, the computer reads it. It's a Mac device. It's the camera upload folder. Then I'm going to right-click, create a new folder, name it. I usually do the name and a date. So it's alphabetical and chronological. Because different times I'll visit the same facility 3 or 4 days, do different shoots at different facilities, and it's all the same name, but it's different. It's sequential dates. So a different folder. I do a different folder each and every day, each and every event. So it's not overwhelming when you got to open it up and you've got 10,000 pictures in one folder, and now you try to seek out one picture. I'd rather have a few hundred pictures in a folder, make it easier to navigate to find what I'm looking for. So right-click. Here's the folder that you've just created, camera, photos, and the date. Here's the pictures that are on your phone. You're just going to highlight them and drag them into the new folder. Or you can hit copy and paste, whichever you prefer. I like to do it seamlessly. I just drag them. An extra step is click copy, put it on the folder, click paste. And it accomplishes the same thing. So now they're in the folder that I've created on the desktop. After this, that's when I'll delete them from the phone after I've verified that they're on my folder. Yes?
How do you stop it from automatically uploading?
Just hit the red button on your computer and it'll stop. It'll stop the program right in its tracks. When all these applications open up on your Mac, there's red, yellow, and green. Red is stop, yellow is pause, green is go. So if you hit the red button on any program that's open on your computer, it'll stop it right away.
I don't have a Mac computer, but if I upload my photos.
PCs have the same things. There's not iTunes. It'll recognize your PC will recognize your phone as a hard drive. It's not going to automatically do this from a PC. It'll only do this from a Mac platform, because Mac talks to themselves. PC, you have to tell it what you want to do, but it will recognize your phone as a hard drive, and it should show camera folder with all your pictures. Did I say? See hand go up?
Yeah, I'm using a PC, Windows 10,
Okay.
and I have a harder time transferring the pictures from my camera. It will say allow, and the pictures will go on. But then at the top, there's no button to say insert or bring them up. And they get there somehow, but every time I do it, it's different. Only with the PC.
That's why there's Apple, and that's why there's Gateway, and that's why there's HP, and they all have their own codecs, they all have their own softwares, their own parameters. Apple doesn't want your iPhone talking with an HP computer. They don't make it that easy. They make it that difficult on purpose, so you buy an Apple product. And the same with HP and Samsung and all the other PC manufacturers. They don't want you using an Apple product, they want you using their PC. So they're not going to make it seamless. It takes a little bit more work when you're crossing bridges. Whether you have a Samsung Galaxy trying to put them into an Apple product or an Apple product into a Samsung laptop, you're going to have some difficulties because it's not seamless. Apple makes it very easy. It automatically does it for you, but I don't want it to do that, so I have to stop it.
Well, I have gotten around it.
And that's what you're going to have to do, is you have to do workarounds when you're crossing platforms.
I kept thinking it was an easy easy way, obviously. I feel better now.
There is an easy way. If you're in a PC world instead of Mac, if you click on My Computer with your phone plugged in to the USB.
Yeah.
If you go to My Computer, you'll get a list of all the attached devices, one of which will be your phone. And you double click on your phone, and it will show you all your files from your phone. And then you can pick the first picture, shift, pick the last picture. It'll grab all of those pictures and you can copy it right into a file. It's very easy.
Good to know. Thank you. Sam, I'm learning too. So is everybody clear as to how we transfer our pictures off of our device? It does take practice. Once you do this and you verified, before I delete anything, I verify that the files are on the new folder. I would then burn a backup DVD and verify the files are on that backup DVD. Then I would go in and delete the pictures and video from my device.
Yeah, two times, 3 times, 4 times.
Yeah, you can never have enough backup. And that's from hard-learned experience. You can never have enough backup. Put them in as many locations as you can that you can find them again when you're ready to use them. Extras, photo editing applications. If you're in the Mac world, you have either iPhoto or Photo already built into your Mac. Wonderful photo editing software. You're never going to need anything more. PC world, there's Photoshop Express. There's different softwares that the computers come packaged with when you buy them from the store. Most of those software applications for what you're going to do are going to be perfectly fine. They're just as powerful and do everything that your phone can do, but do a better job at it without degrading the quality of your pictures. Video, it's a different ballgame altogether. Mac, your device should have iMovie. All you're ever going to need to edit high-definition video already came with your Mac. It's called iMovie. Very easy application. I edit professional videos with iMovie. I then import them into a more advanced program called Final Cut Pro for more advanced transferring, changing file sizes, codecs, and things of that nature. Yes?
Bob, do you know if iMovie has a PC application for that software?
I don't know. I know it's created by Apple for Apple. I would like to think that they do to sell more product. You would have to check their website. I honestly don't know.
Check that out.
I hope they do.
It's a good program.
It's an awesome software, very easy to learn. I mean, anybody can learn how to use iMovie just in a couple of hours sitting down in front of a computer. It's very.
Just cropping, you can actually do contrast, black and white, do all kind of things to your videos with that program?
Yes, you can crop your video, you can color correct your video, you can adjust the audio levels.
Add music and all that.
You can add music, you can add titles, and it's all right there. It's very, very easy to do. You can burn a DVD right from that program too. It's very easy to use.
Is that iMovie, is that right there in iPhoto on your Mac?
Let me get back to what my iMovie is right here. It's a purple star on your Mac.
You have to go.
And you can get it as an app on your phone.
You can get the app on your phone as well. Video, I'd be more apt to edit video on the phone than I would photography.
Go in and get it. Oh,
Yeah.
So it's an app that is available for download on every Apple iPhone. It's easier to edit video on a Mac or a PC than it is on your phone, but it can be done on your phone, and it doesn't degrade the quality of the video. It's just a little bit more difficult to edit on a tiny screen. The still photography, don't edit on your phone. Edit that on a computer. So applications, we've talked, there are a lot of applications out there for photography editing. There's a lot of applications out there for video editing. If you have a Mac, use what came packaged with the computer. You're not going to need it anymore. If you're in a PC, yes.
Excuse me, Bob. Yeah, we just looked that up. You can get iMovie on PC,
Wonderful.
so I would recommend that.
Absolutely. If you have a PC and you want to edit video, download iMovie. It's from the Apple Store. You download the PC version of it.
I don't have the purple star.
It may be in your applications folder, and you have to copy it to the bar at the bottom of your computer.
I have the bottom of the thing.
Not all programs automatically put those icons at the bottom. You have to copy them from the applications folder on the top right-hand side from your Mac HD hard drive and copy it and put it on the bar. It's a pain in the neck.
No, I don't, I just don't know what you just said.
Okay. This is the bar on a Mac. PCs have a bar that goes vertically typically. With different programs,
I have the EMA,
you have an earMac. So you have a bar that goes along the bottom like this.
right.
On the bottom, all these little icons, each little picture is an icon, that will launch that particular program.
Right.
So the W is Word, Microsoft Excel, PowerPoint, Entourage. This is Final Cut Pro. This is Compressor for burning DVDs. This is for editing audio. This is for PDFs. This is Adobe Reader.
But that's what you.
I copy them from my applications folder. The ones that I work with all the time are at the bottom. The ones I don't work with, I don't want to see them. So up here,
When it says you want to update your so-and-so and it says do it tonight, do it tomorrow, do it later.
that's just updating all the applications on your
And
device.
when I've updated it, then I can't get into my computer and there are locks on it. So I try not to update anything.
The newer versions of Apple operating systems automatically come with an updated security. So you have to set a 4-digit PIN. I did the same with the 4S. When I first bought my phone, anybody could open the phone and use it. Now there's a 4-digit PIN because the latest operating system, the update, has a 4-digit PIN. Every iPhone, every Apple product has that. So don't be afraid to update your phone. It's for your own security. And it'll walk you through the steps on how to create your 4-digit PIN. Just follow the screen. And it's easier to update your phone through your computer if you're in the Mac world than it is just to do it through the phone. Correcting red eyes. Any camera that has the flash right next to, above, below, or to the side of the picture-taking lens in a dark room, you're going to get red eyes. That's caused from the flash being on the same plane of travel as the retina in your eyes. So the red you're seeing is a reflection of the flash off of the retina in your eyes. That's where the red comes from. When you separate the flash with a real camera and bounce the light off of a ceiling, red eye is gone. If you use an external flash that's separated by only a few inches, the red eye is gone. We don't have the luxury with our phones or our tablets. So if you have red eye, your basic iPhoto or Photoshop Express, there are plugins that you can get rid of the red eye in pictures that are very important to you and make them look natural.
I don't think I've gotten a picture with red eye though since I started using my iPhone.
Have you taken pictures under very dark circumstances? When you're outside, your eye is like the iris of a lens. When you're outside, you have a little pinhole because it's so bright out. You don't get red eye when you have a pinhole. You get red eye when the iris in your lens in a dark room like this is open wide. The darker the room, the wider it opens, the brighter, the more intense the red eye. If you have certain intellectual disabilities, you give off red eyes. Thank you. Thank you for the lesson. There are certain disabilities, certain autism spectrums that you can tell if they have autism because they have red eye when it's bright sunny day. It's inherent with the disability. So there's different reasons that you get red eye, but the main one for the mainstream of population is the iris in a dark room is open wide, the flash is too close to the lens, it bounces off of the retina and right back into the camera, bingo, red eye. And you can fix that on a computer after the fact. So, how else can we take pictures and get decent photos? There's inexpensive toys. Here's a little tripod with bendable legs, $10 off of some internet store. I don't know. They're not paying for this, so. Because you can set this up and take pictures anywhere at any time. That's better. You can put it on a selfie stick and do aerial photos. This selfie stick has a cable that plugs into the stereo mic on your phone with a trigger here on the handle. that I can take a picture, snap the photo. So if you want to do a group shot, get everybody behind you in the picture, get a $10 selfie stick. There are all kinds of attachments for our devices now that you can buy. Telephoto, wide-angle lenses, external flashes, filters, you name it, they make it.
How about those things you clip on? They clip right on over the lens.
Those are what I'm talking
Are
about.
those good?
My word of caution there is, remember when we bought this? It's a phone. If I want to take a picture, I'm going to use a real camera.
Yeah.
If you're fortunate enough to have the 6S Apple product, the 6S Samsung product, you've also got a decent camera. The rest of us are kind of left in the dark with that. I have a good phone that I can do email and texting with, but I have a crummy camera with a 4S. So if I want to take a photo, I'm not going to spend more money to attach things. I'm going to use a camera. And you can get a little small compact camera for less than an iPhone today that takes gorgeous pictures with a 40 power zoom lens that you can take the eagle on top of the mountain from here.
What would you recommend?
Canon Sure Shot's a really good camera. Nikon has a lot of compact point and shoot cameras that have many, many features. Small, compact, powerful cameras that have take absolutely gorgeous pictures. They compete with what I can shoot with. Yes?
Just so you know, the library does have an all-in clinic that people can check out for a couple of weeks at a time. They want to experiment with something.
Can you say that again? The people up here could.
Yeah, the library here has all-in clips that you can check out and attach to your phone and use for panoramic shots. So if you're considering buying something, better to try first.
Well, the other thing with all Apple iPhones have panoramic built into them. So you can do a panoramic without even having to put an attachment on it. Just slide it to that under the photo mode, camera mode.
Yeah, it has different lenses.
So there are all kinds of attachments you can buy, $20, $30, $50. They're relatively inexpensive. But what I suggest is, if you really want to get that much into your photography and you don't have a higher quality camera in your phone like the 6S for the iPhone, 6S for the Samsung, just invest in a decent camera. I mean, I know everyone's trying to put me out of business, but so many people, I have an iPhone, I don't need a photographer. Then they come after me. Can you fix my pictures? No. Yes?
Is there any way to avoid either in the camera or the iPhone, you're trying to compose a shot outside, and you get this reflection of your face back on your screen, rather than, you can't...
Did you attach the camera and reverse the camera? So you're doing a selfie and not...
No. It's just the light
Just to
will reflect off the
like a
screen.
shadow.
You're pointing it outward and you got a reflection of you behind the camera? Oh, you're talking the glare. You're probably looking right into the light source. Where I said you want to have the sun coming from over your shoulders, you're probably looking to where the light is. Yeah.
That's what I find very frustrating.
Yeah, it's not always practical to move to get the sun from over your shoulders. You do that the best you possibly can, but you can't always move to get the sun coming from over your shoulders. And sometimes glare like that, the cameras are okay, but you're better off with, if you had a better point and shoot camera, you wouldn't get as much lens flare. You wouldn't get the glare. Yes? I mentioned a Canon Sure Shot. Any of the Canon and Nikon products I really like, because they use the same optics on their point and shoots as they do their bigger cameras that I use. So they use the same glass, the same elements. Yes?
I have a 6S, and when I take a picture of the sunset, it doesn't reflect the colors that are in the sunset
You can fix that in post. You can bring the colors back with your editing software.
on the hard drive, or on the PC.
She's a friend of mine and we both paint. So when I take my photos,
Thank you.
I was saying that sometimes I tilt it a little bit, like of a sunset or something,
Mhm.
and the colors are much
great.
better.
Well, a lot of again, these are phones. So even with the 6S, it's still a phone. Keep that in mind. And it takes much better pictures than my camera, but it's still a phone. The colors that are gone in your phone, you can restore with Photoshop and editing afterwards.
So you don't know why it's better if you tilt.
It's the phone. It's not a real camera. It's a camera application in a phone. They've come a long way with it, but it's not a camera.
Is it better to buy a phone from Apple or from your server, like service AT&T?
But they do take that.
I'm an Apple user. I was a PC convert 10 years ago. When my daughter went to college, I was on Gateway. I had Gateway computers, PCs. And my daughter went to Bridgewater State. She had to get a Mac. Well, back then they were doing with HPs. And she wanted to get a computer, so she got a Mac. Well, I upgraded and got my first iMac. Up to that point, I got hit with 3 viruses with my PC, wiping out everything on my computer. In 10 years, I haven't had one virus on a Mac. So on that one thing alone, if you're worried about security, get a Mac.
I just, no, the question was,
So far, no one's been able to successfully hack into.
no, I have 3 Macs.
Okay.
I just wondered, I'm going to get the 5, the 6S.
The 6S.
Should I, does it matter if you get it from the Apple Store or from the 8?
Whoever gives you the best deal.
So
It's the same product. It's the same product. It doesn't matter. My carrier is Verizon. I buy my phones at the Apple Store. It doesn't matter. So buy wherever you can get the best deal. Because sometimes the Apple Store you can get $99 off. In Verizon you have to pay $24 a month for 2 years to get the phone. It depends upon, get the best deal. It's the same product. It doesn't change it. Does anybody have any questions before we wrap up for the night? Yes.
Do you know why on that Apple phone, when you take a picture, it goes into an album it goes into an album or a photo? And the album, I didn't create the albums.
It does it automatically.
It does it automatically every day. Every 24 hours it creates an album for that day.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Which is why if you don't download all the time and clear your phone off, it gets overwhelming when you download 3,000 pictures at once. Because now how do we separate them? I have to go in and highlight 50 or 100 pictures at a time, create a separate folder, call it something. Grab another 300 pictures, create a folder, call it something. Try to do this all the time so it doesn't get out of hand.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes?
Do you have any other suggestions on photo editing apps, Photoshop? Is it?
I'm a Photoshop user. I swear by Photoshop. I think it's a wonderful program. The stripped down version is Photoshop Express. I use something called Photoshop CS6, which is a professional editing software. You can now get Photoshop 10 for $299. Photoshop 10X. Photoshop X. But it's $300. It's an expensive software package. But you can do a lot of creative things with it, but do you need it for this level? No. I would go with Photoshop Express. I think it's $29 to $30 at the App Store. Okay, if no one has any more questions, I'd like to thank you all very much for coming. Hopefully you learned something. If you liked what I did, tell the library. If you don't say anything. I have a whole bunch of programs that I'm talking to the library about, so.